Welcome everyone into a brand new, very weird video here on Kentucky Sports Radio's YouTube channel that we're rolling with. It's a new idea, kind of sparked today over the last few days. I'm sure a lot of you all have seen some of these odd acid trip spiritual experience types TikToks that the Kentucky men's basketball program has been rolling out. A lot of Burger King commercials. Some things I still am not entirely sure I understand. As a 27-year-old, I feel like I'm a little bit outside of the expertise that is needed to know what's going on. So I have recruited here. We have 5 of our 6 wonderful interns from KSR. We have 4 sophomores, I believe, and 1 senior. So Grant Grubbs there, who most of you might already know is our elder statesman here. He will be able to provide the veteran perspective, if you will. And I know some of us on here aren't even big into TikTok. So it'll be nice to have all these odd perspectives and kind of explain what the hell is going on with these videos, because like I said, I'm not sure I understand. I'm not even sure they understand, but they're going to try and explain it for us. So what we're going to do here is kind of show these weird TikToks that UK has been putting out that have been going viral over the last couple of days, especially with here on Oscar Sheeb Day, however you want to say it, very appropriately timed. But before that, I'm going to kind of roll through some of the interns, introduce them for some of us who have not met them or seen their face before. So I'll start at the top here. We've got Piper McCowan. She's new with us from WKU. She just started this week. She's going to be covering that area of the state, doing high school for us. Right below her, we have Caitlin Perkins. She's been covering soccer for us. She started it the last semester. She's also been doing some women's basketball stuff. Right below her, we have Grant Grubbs, who, like I said, a lot of you might know. He's been with us. He's in his 3rd year now covering the women's basketball team. Right below him, we have Brady Birdwell, another sophomore. Some have referred to him as a young Nick Roush, so take that how you will. He has been doing a lot of high school coverage for us, basketball and football, and we'll continue that into this semester. And then we have right below him, Ian Alvano, who also joined at the beginning of last semester. He did a lot of volleyball stuff for us, helps us out with on the NBA side as well. And he'll be doing even more stuff moving forward. We also have our 6th intern, Daniel Hager, who's been doing a lot of high school stuff. He's not here, could not join us. So we are going to just pop right into it here. Our man in the back, Steven, is going to show us these TikToks, and then I'm just going to let these 5 interns explain, or to the best of their ability, what is going on. So, Steven, roll clip.
Whopper. How about beer? Then something just snapped. Something inside of me. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. It happened. Skip it up.
We'd like to take a moment to announce that.
Hello. Whoa, hey.
All right, so there is a lot going on there. Lots of cheese and Burger King references, screaming and yelling. Guys, what's going on here? What do we have? Is there any creative thought process behind this, or is it just all thrown together? What's going on?
Some beautiful chaos. I'll tell you that much.
I think it started.
Sorry,
go ahead. I was gonna say it started in Buffalo. I think the Buffalo Bills started doing it like halfway through the year. Like they had a ton of stuff with Josh Allen. They'd mess around with him, and like it got really big on TikTok. Like they would just deep fry memes, which means they'd like turn up the volume all the way and like just throw random stuff in there, and that's kind of like what's popular right now on TikTok, I guess.
Deep frying memes is what you've said?
Yeah, it's like you just like turn the sound all the way up and like shake it and stuff.
Okay. Well, so explain all the cuts. Why are there so many cuts into this and all these weird noises? Is there any thought process being put in behind this? Does anyone know?
I think we're trying to get everything that's, popular and relevant right now, whether that's a mixture of, the Whopper, which seems to be the Whopper commercial, which seems to be stuck in everyone's head and is always making its way on social media. You just lost your fantasy championship and then the Whopper commercial comes on. Or the Cristiano Ronaldo which kind of like got a little bit more hot throughout the World Cup and his celebration, which everyone seemed to know, even if people don't watch soccer. So I think it's just grabbing people and grabbing a bunch of audiences and memes and, like Brady said, deep frying them, distorting them, and bringing them all together.
Now, you all are on TikTok, and you said this is becoming a trend. These videos are widely popular nowadays.
Yeah, it's pretty much Gen Z humor to kind of take as much chaos, it seems like, as possible, and with all those quick cuts, mash it together, and just, people are going to love that. It doesn't matter if it makes any sense, but most Gen Z people are going to love that.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I am Gen Z. I don't have TikTok. No clue what's going on here. The Whopper thing, I recognize that. I love the flipping of the T to the L. That was a great part. Very creative. Other than that, the audio, everything is just chaos for me, and I have no clue.
So are you up or down on it then, Piper?
I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan, but I'm also not a hater. I'm not going to be a hater. I'm going to stay neutral here. I think it's a good tactic to, get most people have TikTok. Most people know what's going on with this. So I think they've done a good job catering to that demographic.
Now, Caitlin, I hear your dog in the back there. What are your thoughts as well?
She has some thoughts on it also. She was extremely excited when the Lance part came on because she's a huge Lance fan. Whenever he gets excited on the bench, she also gets excited. Venus, I know. Excited. I have TikTok.
The Whopper meme got to her.
Yeah, she's literally, she sees that burger on the screen. It's the commercials. Look at her. She's just going crazy. Like, really. I don't even know. Venus, I know you want a burger, but you can't have one right now.
Now, Brady, talk to me about are these memes for old people too? Not to alienate some of our viewers here, but is the older crowd, can they get into this as well?
Well, speaking for all us young people out there, I think the thing that got me going throughout this video was that they kept putting Vines in. So, Vine was, the app before TikTok. It was, when I was, 10, 11, 12. And, all the stupid stuff you see, thrown in, besides the Whopper stuff, it's all from Vine. So, it's kind of, hits that part of you, you haven't seen in, 10 years. You're that's hilarious, even if it's not funny at all. So, I think it's, kind of towards, people our age kind of thing, which is a lot of the Kentucky basketball fan base, especially us college kids. We're the ones in the eruption zone and stuff. And, again, like I said, Buffalo does it, and it kind of attracted a younger audience to be Bills fans and stuff, casuals. And I think I'm really high on it because I think it gets more people to watch Kentucky basketball, and it kind of brings that swagger back. It's a really stupid swagger, but, we need something. You know what I mean? We really need something. And if it means deep frying Lance Ware and, throwing in, Flight Reacts, on there, who's, a YouTuber, that gets me going. Because, if Flight sees that, he's got, 10 million followers. He reposts that, and that's a whole new swagger that we got that we get Nas Cunningham with. You know what I mean? You just gotta think about it. You gotta think about it bigger than it's not just the little thing. You gotta think about the entire picture.
Look at Brady throwing in a recruiting pitch as well. So, Grant, I understand that you have been able to chit chat with the guy who actually is the brains. I'll use the word brains a little bit loosely here. He's the mind behind these TikToks. What is kind of his thought process going into all this?
I'm tempted to say there's not much of one, if I'm being honest. He's an interesting fella, not to be named, but I'm not sure some of the older people at UK Athletics were such big fans of his creations. Maybe talked to the SIDs and said, don't post this again. If you saw there, the first one was probably even a little bit crazier than the second one, so I think he's been forced to turn it down, but he gets a kick out of it. He was sending me screenshots of old people on Twitter talking about it. It's coming from a deep place in his heart, I would say. This is definitely honest to who he is.
Yeah, and it's definitely creating conversation, whether it's good or bad. So who else?
I saw Sorry.
No,
I
go
think
for
I
it.
saw Georgia football make one of these kinds of videos after they beat TCU. And it was the same kind of vibe. It was like Kermit the Frog getting electrocuted or something in there.
Sure.
So I've seen it before. It's a little strange though.
Now, have we all have? Sorry, who was going there? Go
I
for
was
it.
gonna say I think the fast moving sound and you're hearing like a garbage truck and then like a ding. I don't know. I feel like maybe that doesn't cater for the older crowd, but the Whopper I am absolutely in for because I think it absolutely. How many times have you guys thought about a Whopper in the last 2 weeks just from watching TV?
I will admit that part of this has made me go to Burger King within the last week.
So you've been to Burger King? Because I've been thinking about it, I think, since like week 15 of the NFL when this commercial started getting really, really popular. And I haven't been, but I'm thinking I haven't gotten Burger King in 6 years. So
Disgusting.
maybe
gross.
some of that.
So
I'll
gross.
also say that as enjoyable as this is for our fan base, if this was, if you're Georgia or somebody else, this is far worse for your fan base. I mean, having to watch this after your team just lost is a pain that just can't be defined. You're like, these are the people that just beat us.
No, I'm fully prepared to get that with
100%.
Buffalo this weekend because Buffalo's going to do the same thing they've been doing. And if the Bengals lose, like that's going to be having to look at that next day is going to hurt more than probably the game's going to hurt. So, I mean, something I'm about to deal with, I guess. So prayers for me, I guess. Hope we get a win.
Yeah. Now, so is everyone an immediate fan of these? Did you need a minute to kind of process it? I kind of like what you all saying on the opposite end, because if I were a Tennessee fan and I watched that video the moment after getting upset by a Kentucky team that had looked terrible all year, I would be admittedly.
Yeah, I absolutely love them coming out. Even my mom, I got home that night, she was like, have you seen the TikToks? Like, they're crazy. And she's not really a huge, TikToker. I think she has the app, but she's not going to, get on it a lot. I think it brought the swagger back. I feel like we've seen it. Obviously, it was big, for a bit. And then after we've gotten some momentum back, after a rocky start to the season, we're obviously not where we want to be. But I think it's definitely showing, we're going back. People are going to start hearing our names again.
Yeah, for better or worse, if you want to say, it definitely sounds like people are watching these videos and they're knowing, even if they're not paying attention to Kentucky, that Kentucky is winning again. So I guess that's probably their idea of this, is to maybe ride some of this momentum in whatever wacky way they want to. Do we have any other thoughts on these videos? And, are we fans? Are we up? Are we down? What's kind of the general consensus here?
I'm happy. If we're going to do it, we better keep winning. That's all I'm going to say. Because if we lose, expect hundreds of these to flood when we post final period with whatever the final score is. Texas A&M fans are going to come flooding through. So just be prepared. Stay humble. If we're going to do it, let's win. That's all I'll say about the matter.
Yeah, definitely need to keep them winning, because it'll be tough when Texas A&M rolls out their own and flips a UK logo upside down or something, whatever they have to do. So, folks, any final parting thoughts on these and just general views of the TikTok world and should the older generation try and get into this? Do they even need to understand what's going on?
I'm going to speak on behalf of the older generation. I feel like I'm right there with you in this. It's okay if you don't understand. You don't need to understand. I think this is more for the people who are super, super immersed in the social media and meme world. So it really means nothing to, any sort of outcome, but it is kind of funny to see and to witness, and people's reactions to it is super fun to watch. So.
Yeah, and it clearly got all of us here together to sit and talk about a few minutes worth of TikTok. So good job on Kentucky men's basketball for producing that, and whoever is making these up behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on in your brain, or if you're tapping into some sort of, outside substances, but if that's the case, I say keep doing it, because these are excellent videos. Even if, like I said, I have no idea what's going on outside of that Whopper commercial, which has works. So marketing all around, it's working. It worked for Burger King, and it's working for Kentucky because people are paying attention and they're talking about it. So I'm all for it. I think we'll continue it on here. Unless we have any parting thoughts, I'll let you all say goodbye, and we'll just get on out of here. Maybe we'll do this again in the future too. A little KSR Gen Z reaction to whatever Kentucky is deciding to roll out and stick with the times moving forward. So thank you all very much, and I'm sure we'll try and do this again.